So sometimes you know what you know, and sometimes you know what you don't know, and sometimes, as the Firesign Theater says, everything you know is wrong.
You know that you're wrong, but you fear you're right. You suspect you're out of sync. You think that you're out of your mind. Everything you know is wrong.
The United States Department of Energy is tasked with, among other things, keeping America safe from our nation's vast stockpile of nuclear waste. The DOE is supposed to make sure that American citizens are never knowingly put in contact, or unknowingly for that matter, with radioactive materials and nuclear waste. But apparently the DOE is not doing its job, because radioactive materials could soon be coming to consumer goods near you. So if you think the federal government is doing everything it can to keep you safe from radioactive materials, then everything you know is wrong. Joining me now is Charman, independent investigative environmental journalist and author of the article, Radioactive Metal from Nuclear Weapons Facilities May End Up in Your Shopping Bag on whowhatwhy.com. Karen, welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Thanks for joining us. What is going on here? You might have radioactive waste in your belt buckle?
Yeah. Well, I think that it's important to view this in a larger context. And that is that the entire history of the atomic age really is one that unfortunately is defined by a real lack of care and concern about radioactivity. And I'll give you just two quick examples. Back when the US government was still doing above ground atomic bomb testing, they actually sent soldiers in who were stationed about 7 miles or so away from the bomb blast. They sent them in to ground zero without any protection whatsoever 30 minutes after the blast. And then afterwards, when these soldiers got sick, they denied that there was any connection between their radiation exposure and the insane, crazy illnesses that they developed. And many of these soldiers died, never seeing any compensation whatsoever. The second example is 3 Mile Island, which was much worse than was ever publicly disclosed. And to this day, people are told that no one was injured as a result of the TMI accident because not enough radiation was released, when in fact thousands were sick and joined a class action lawsuit against the government that went nowhere. So I think that you have to view this latest proposal in the larger context of the entire atomic age.
Do you think that there's, I mean, perhaps just a sense of fatalism or defeatism that's driving this? We've got so much radioactive waste that has been dumped in the Pacific Ocean from Fukushima that now it seems that, you know, virtually all the fish coming in off the West Coast, if not now, soon will be, you know, containing some amounts of radioactive cesium and other elements. You know, hey, it's in our fish. It used to be in our milk from the above-ground atomic tests in the 50s. You know, let's put a little in our metal. What the hell?
Well, I think, I don't know. I mean, radiation is dangerous, and it's not meant to be, you know, it destroys the chemical bonds in our cells. Yeah.
And it can break up DNA. So is this,
Yes.
do you think that this is the consequence of, you know, I mean, is there even an appearance of sound medical and or scientific oversight on this? Or is this, you know, is this an example of agency capture of an industry that's corrupted a regulatory agency?
The whole debate about radiation, I find really interesting. There's so much denial that goes on, and basically any scientist who has raised red flags about it, they get shot down, they get vilified, you know, terribly. So, and certainly the nuclear industry / government, because after all, even the nuclear power industry, it was created pretty much from the government, from the whole weapons proposal. It was meant to be the, you know, the public face, the peaceful face of the dark side of the atomic weapons. And so it's kind of I don't know. I think it's like a whole sort of thing on its own in terms of the level of secrecy, the level of privilege that surrounds it.
Karen, we're out of time, but well said. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, and thanks for a great article.
Oh, thank you.